This bill, I think, was debated to death during COW. So many great points. We heard data, we heard evidence, we heard research from various sources. But HB2803 is probably the bill that makes me the most sad and the most sick to my stomach that I've seen this session. And that's saying a lot. HB2803 has nothing to do with solving the underlying problem of homelessness. So we're here debating whether we should put signs in a hotel to let other patrons know that people who are in the roughest moment of their life have been able to find refuge in a hotel as a last resort. A hotel because there's not enough homeless shelters. A hotel because there are not enough homes. And we could be having a conversation in this body about building more low-income housing, about extending the low-income housing tax credit, about making sure that the nonprofit service providers have the resources that they desperately need and ask for repeatedly from this body. And instead, this is the solution we're putting forward. I was thinking recently about why people have such a visceral reaction to seeing people who live on the streets. Their immediate reaction, what we often hear or see, is for people to get mad that there's someone near your car when you're at a stoplight asking for money. To immediately think that was a failure of that person. They did something wrong. They're addicted to drugs. They have a mental illness. That couldn't be me or my family. They need to get their life together. And I think that that kind of cruel response, Mr. President Pro Tem, is a defense mechanism. Because as human beings, we are intended to have compassion and empathy for one another. I do believe every single person in this body has a conscience and that they care for each other. And when we cannot accept that a government would let its people sweat on the street in 110-degree weather, die of heat illness on the street, go hungry in the streets, veterans who have served our country begging for money on the side of the road, when we can't accept that as human beings, our emotional defense mechanism kicks in. And that is when we start to hear, it's not a failure of government, it's not a failure of the state, it's that person doing something wrong. It is a policy failure that we have homeless people living on the streets, that they are dying in higher and higher numbers as it gets hotter and hotter in the state of Arizona, and we are failing to support the homeless service providers, that we are failing to put money in the Housing Trust Fund, that we are failing to pass the Starter Homes Act, that we have failed to extend LIHTC. But instead of putting forward real solutions, we are going to say, if you live on the streets, you're criminalized. If your city comes up with a creative solution to have you live in a hotel, we're putting a big red sign to let everyone in there know that you are other. You are not like us. You are not good enough. You are not worthy of our love, care, compassion, food, shelter, health care. Those people are worthy. They are our neighbors, our community. They could be any single one of us or our loved one or our friends or family or neighbors. And if we keep closing our eyes to that and putting forward bills like HB2803 that are nothing but cruelty and do not solve the problem is only going to get worse. We are one of the only countries in the world where this problem is as bad as it is, and we are the richest country in the world. It is disgraceful. I vote no.